Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about doing something you love. I'm Keith.
And I'm Rodney, and this is the Dad Chronicle, almost a daily chronicle. We've rebranded, but the journey is all the same. This is us cataloging our day-to-day, specifically leaving advice for our daughters, for us to come look at, and to build some community with those of you who grace us with your follows and your views. So today we're going to talk about doing something you love. And Keith, what's like the top two things you would tell the girls about doing something you love for when they're older?
Experience things. Just do different things, because I would never have been at all in a place to ever think through standard education, through just the things I was exposed to, that putting my face out and talking about cultural issues while getting to know people and creating a platform of connection and more effective, compassionate communication was ever my thing. Now, what that looks like in many different forms, I don't know. But without you ever saying, let's start a podcast, this would never have happened. And starting a podcast is just an experience in its first form. So I can expand on this more, but try new things.
Mm-hmm.
Just try new things until you find something that connects with you. And then the second thing is go for
it. Those are good.
We can expand on that in a second.
I think I would go with, I'm really vibing with, sometimes you gotta figure out what it ain't to figure out what it is. And I think to your point, I think this goes to your point, while the job that you may have now may not be the thing that you align to the most, it may be giving you a skill that you need. It may be paying the bills. It may be getting you through. And it's teaching you the things you don't like. I've had experiences where I've learned leaders from extremely good leaders and bad leaders what I want and don't want. So I would say, like, to expand on that one. So I agree, like, just do it. And I think the other thing I would say is find your ikigai. And I would and we'll put a diagram for it, but the whole concept of finding what you love, what you're good at, what you can get paid for, and what the world needs, and where all of those circles come together in the middle, that's your ikigai, that's your reason for being. And that, I think that equals passion, love, money, vocation, like all it's the victory. So find your ikigai.
So much of like, there's an important component, I think, of contributing to society and earning a living so you can support yourself and your family. Even for anybody that's looking to do something. And it's one thing to, I love baking bread. Cool, sell it. The history of time has been run by people willing to challenge the status quo to create something new that ultimately becomes the status quo and that other people contribute to. And I think loving what you do comes in all different forms. Like, I'll talk to my girls. Your mom loves to work in a corporate hierarchy and climb the corporate ladder. She does a great job. Like, she is passionate about using her degree and working her way up and working hard and being a part of that system. Not my favorite thing, right? But the thing you love doesn't just come in the form of what others or what collectively we think should be loved. One of my favorite things is listening to Gary Vee talk about how he just loves creating businesses. He could never throw a ball 95 miles an hour. He'd get bulldozed by Ray Lewis, but he loves building businesses. And it's what he loves. So when he shows up, go ahead.
Well, no, I love that. And I think one of the other different forms is it doesn't have to be a job. I think entrepreneurs get stuck on, like, you've got to make money with your passion. Not necessarily. It could be a hobby.
Yeah.
It could just be the thing. Like, some people can be filled up enough. Yeah, Gina is a great example. And actually, it's fun. She's now she's building a photography business. So she's turning it into her thing. And if it turns into that, it's cool. Some people, but it's just knowing yourself. Because for some people, you could be in that corporate hierarchy and do photography on the weekends or at night, and that fills you up enough to keep doing the other thing.
Yeah.
It's just knowing yourself. And so
it's a great privilege to have found this and have a chance to turn it into the Ikigai. And once we get it off the ground and we're killing and balling for 5 years, we may want to change it up. But finding that rhythm of entrepreneurship and creation and all that stuff, it's super exciting and it's super fun. And I'll tell you, I'd say 95% of the minutes I spend on More in Common, I don't ever feel like work.
It's gonna be so meta for her. She's gonna be watching like, why would you let me on video looking like that with my hair? Because it's adorable. That's why.
And that's why.
It's for the views. It's for the views.
That's it. It's pandering. That's all it is. We've said it before. We'll do push-ups for likes.
We'll do push-ups for likes.
Kids on for likes.
Our most popular content: push-ups and kids. Not in that order.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
I think as we look to wrap it up, I don't know if I would add anything else. Know yourself, Ikigai, try things, figure out what it isn't, figure out what it is, and don't be afraid to try new things. I think those are the sums from us. What's your thoughts on finding your passion, working, and living it? Tips?
You're all amazing. Thank you. And we'll talk to you soon. All right, I'll stop recording. I'm going